The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Seven the pan. That dude Biz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin flying around the field. Starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. Hot the death, oh yes, these other sports podcasts live as a pros corpse. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. Moses out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the force ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season if people starting five. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. Get it, we got what you need. If the sports news you see, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three, run the baseline, starting five. Get it, we got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign, I'm the illest cat stick. I got what you need.
I don't know if we got what y'all need this week, but we definitely got what y'all motherfuckers is gonna have to listen to. I'm gonna just say it like that. What up, everybody? It's your boy, the man, that DJ named Ace5, your mom's favorite fat guy. Tired as hell. Like, I actually did something yesterday, which, we did do a little something, little something like celebrate this man's birthday. Shout out to the good brother TJ. What's up?
What's up, man? Thanks for coming out. Shout out to Mike Jones and Hackensack Brewing for throwing a stellar event yesterday. If you wanted to see Black Love at its finest, you needed to be there yesterday because it was truly a great day for our people and people in general to be out. I mean, it was hot as balls outside, but besides that, it was truly a dope-ass event. Nothing but good vibes all the way around. Good mix, older and younger people. Just jamming out to good old school hip hop and R&B for pretty much the whole day. Broke bread and made my peace with Greg Nice. If y'all know the picture I got,
which I don't even know why there was beef behind that. Y'all were trash.
I was like, Greg, you don't remember this picture, but this was at A3C a few years back. He was like, I was so fucked up that day. I was like, see, that's what I was telling you. That's what I was gonna tell you. But we took another flick. He said it's all good. So very cool, very approachable, just laid back brother. Just like everybody else was it was a whole vibe. Shout out to Nick, Sarah, Ian, and Iz. Simone Arabia stopped by yesterday.
Happy birthday to Iz also today.
Yes, happy birthday to Iz today. And then think Nicole Porter's is next Friday.
Yep.
Yeah, AP, Aaron Phillips was out there, Soul Buck, a bunch of people, man. It was a great time. Gladstone. Yep.
A couple of his homies. I forgot their names, but they might be watching today.
Yeah, so it was a good time, man. As you can tell, my voice is a little hoarse because of laughing and
you was all over the place.
Trying to talk over music that was mad loud.
That was one of them things I said. I was talking to Nicole and it was like, the sound sounds great because it was the way they were positioned. They had the speakers facing into the building, which was able to have the sound bounce off the walls, which made it sound great. Like once you walked on the other side of the the Tombstone Sellers house that's right next door, right there. Like once you walk on the other side, then you start to hear the echo because of the openness, because there's nothing for it to go reverberate off of.
Right.
But yeah, the sound just sounded great that day. And I said the vibe was cool.
It gave off
it was a good vibe.
Yeah, it was like old school backyard barbecue vibe, almost like a block party. That's what it felt like. Pretty much.
My DJ ear was overactive though, because you know how I get when it's like if I'm just
shitty transitions.
Not to take away from them because they were great DJs. It was just like, all right, like I get it. This is a crowd of people where that doesn't matter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
Yeah.
hard that when you've done the craft and you know how the craft, could be done, especially from legendary veterans. Like shit, shout outs to Soul Buck, who definitely he spins on Beat Miners Radio and all that. He was getting that itch yesterday too, which was funny. And I was just like, every few records, he's like, "Oh, I'll fuck this record up." He's like, "Man, I will fuck this record up too." Like, like he had that vibe, he had that feeling, and it felt like that. Like it felt like yo, like it would have been dope if they like, yo, who wants to get on? Would have been like, but then DJ Scratch was in the building too. He was in and out. He was heavily masked up, like fucking. They was hand sanitizing each other on outside, and not each other literally, but they had the bottle being passed around. DJ Ralph McDaniels came by too. Was
Oh,
there?
I miss him.
Yeah, which I told you I went and I spoke to him
Yeah, you
because
did say that.
he was a previous guest on the show. So I just double checked with him. I was like, "Yo, Ralph, Uncle Ralph." I was like, "Yo, is your phone number still the same?" So I remember we had you on our podcast a while back. He was like, "Yeah." Remember, our boy T Smith hooked us up together. He's like, "Yeah, that's the homie. That's the man right there." But he remembered. He was like, "My phone number's never changed." And I was like, "Yo, well, I want to get you back on eventually." He was like, "Man, just hit me up. I'm always down." So I might hit him up in like a week or two. We could talk to him about the Video Music Box documentary, which I have still.
It's excellent, bro.
Yeah, I don't have Showtime, so I haven't seen it. I need to find a way to see it. Like, and also too, like Sarah, shout out to Sarah once again. She mentioned yesterday there's a George Carlin documentary that came out yesterday. I need to see that because George Carlin was my number 2 all time.
He's definitely dope.
I gotta see that shit, man. But things we don't want to see, that's what we kind of end up talking about today, with the exception of the NBA playoffs. I don't know if you have the playoffs information up, but we're not gonna go there first. If you can, like I said, I don't have my computer today, but yet, thankfully, StreamYard had upgraded to where you can broadcast from the phone. So this is excellent. This is why actually the camera looks way better than my computer camera for some reason. But condolences, rest in peace to the 10 lives lost in that Buffalo mass shooting by that racist piece of shit that got to walk away alive. Peyton, his last name don't even fucking matter. Yeah. I don't have no special soliloquy for this. It's literally fuck that guy. I was reading into this more and more because we all seen all the reports and stuff, but I just wanted a little further detail to what went down, what happened, why this shit happened, all everything surrounded it that I could, possibly think of just to clarify what the fuck went down in this situation. The first problem I seen was CNN putting alleged shooter. How are you allegedly a shooter when you are now talking about in said article, the guy live streamed the shooting on Twitch? He had a digital footprint because he's been to the Tops supermarket before that. The craziest video I've seen behind this was, besides also they said he had like he had like a manifesto of what he wanted to do, why he wanted to do it, how he wanted to do it, because they said he went to the Tops supermarket and actually had the store drawn out, like off memory. He mapped out the store and how to do. Like, this dude literally did some fucking Ghost Recon freaking, he was playing fucking like Silent Hill, Call of Duty, what was it, SEAL Team set. Like, he thought he was gaming in real life, but with the intentions to just kill black folks. With the intentions to just kill black people. Even so bad to the point where they mentioned he walked by a white person in the supermarket and said, "Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry." Let him go. And then went on to kill more people. Plus, also within said manifesto, he had plans to carry this out in other places and go to other places, and Oh, there's a bunch of people. My bad. I missed a whole bunch of comments. Hi guys. Happy born day again. I think this is Sarah.
Thank
Dope
you.
night, doper people. I started it last night. It was incredible. Yeah, this is Sarah. And they wrote, they have to write alleged or they can get sued. He hadn't been charged yet, but agreed, fuck him. Yeah, no, back on to the point. Yeah, absolutely. That I get that. But it's just, it's the legal game you're playing. I get with. I get it. But it's that, nigga, we know. You know what I'm saying, TJ? It's like, we know. We've seen it all. It's sad that I'm sure somewhere, TJ, the video is still out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't watched it. I don't want to watch it. But I don't know, man. I just got no more words for this type of shit no more, man. Like, God forbid if a black person did this. This should be 24/7, 365 coverage.
And people did try to compare the Brooklyn shooter to this. Difference is, this guy had a drawn out, mapped out plan that they were able to go back to for reference. The Brooklyn shooter was angry, but the smoke bomb tells you, besides the fact that he tried some Batman shit and didn't want to get caught, he had no targets.
No, he wasn't actively seeking anyone. All right. This shit is so premeditated. Like, it was all thought out. You can't call this nigga a lone wolf at all because he had help. He went on these websites and these people gave him advice and talked to him about his plan. Why aren't you grabbing those fuckers up? Why aren't you bagging those folks up? This is not no lone wolf shit. The only lone wolf part about it is when he went in there and did by himself. That's it. He had to get the tactical gear from somebody. He had to get the guns from somebody. He had to talk to somebody about mapping his shit out before he went in there and scouted. He didn't just make this shit up. He ain't that bright. I'm not giving him that much credit. Dude is young. You know what I'm saying? The only thing he had on his side is probably his gaming experience. He actually probably went to the range a few times to shoot the gun. It obviously wasn't first time shooting that shit. So come on, like, I mean, really, they really want us to put hands on them at all times. And then they have the nerve to call us violent. You know what I'm saying? It's just, this is what it's going to come down to. The slick talk and all that shit is just going to get you smacked the fuck up each and every time. Like, there's no need for it anymore. They only understand violence with violence. All this talking shit, all this, and I'm not an advocate of it, but I mean, they only listen when you start smacking heads. That's the only time they listen.
Yeah, and again, though I hate giving disclaimers, people, y'all should already know we don't mean all white people, because white people are legitimately in my family. I personally don't mean all. We know this isn't an all white people thing. This is these ridiculous radicals who, one, think that still think that the election is stole from them. Two, believe in that there is this whole replacement of minority majority thing is going on, which, to be honest with you, they're believing in it in a we gotta thin the herd. When we talked about the abortion situation, they believe, no, we got to get it's more of we got to get our women to start making more babies, i.e. they want the era of the barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen housewife back again. That's what they want. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about those ignorant assholes. That's where the anger and the focus is on this. And he was a perfect representation of one of those. Besides being young, he was a perfect representation of having the guns in the wrong people's hands. Now, I am a person who is not against guns. I'm not against it. I don't own any. But I am not against them. I am against assholes like that guy having them. That's where the problem sets in. And then back to the whole replacement thing. Science has been telling y'all motherfuckers that, guess what? yes, your majority is going to be dwindled or surpassed by 2040. They've been saying this shit for decades now. They've been saying this shit for decades, but from their mystical, magical news leaders at Fox News, they believe it from them because the way Sean Hannity and those types of assholes spew it, if you get what I'm saying, they spew it in a different way, like just pure assholes. But it's true. Like, y'all are being replaced as far as the majority. It's been in effect, whether you like it or not, TJ.
Yo, they thought they were gonna last forever, bro, and it is, and it has been forever. But eventually, the tables are gonna turn sometime. Sometime. You can't reign on the top forever. No, nothing lives on the top forever.
And rest in peace to Big, and his birthday was yesterday. But like he said, your reign on the top is short like leprechauns.
Facts. Like, it's just, I don't know if they're just not willing to accept it, or they fear the repercussions once we get in charge. They feel that we're going to do to them that what they've been doing to us for so long.
That is exactly it. That's what they think is going to happen, and it's not.
We don't give a fuck. It's about us coming up. That's all it's about, is us coming up. If we really wanted to go there, we would have went there a long time ago. Trust me.
Mm-hmm. And
Trust me.
when you think of things of like how the census works, how you go back in the day, how we still in the Constitution as 3/5 man, and we weren't counted by numbers. How do you think a majority minority situation is going to look when you quote unquote only allowed a certain amount of us to come into this country that y'all done killed the people who looked like us and stole their shit from? You get what I'm saying? Like, you killed and stole these lands, but then told other people, oh, you need our permission to come here. But then you could bring over who you want because you know how you can utilize their abilities, i.e. slavery, things like that. Like TJ said, like, yeah, the tables were going to turn. The tables were going to turn eventually. That's why there was there's so many attacks against like laws like affirmative action or the Roe versus Wade, and I'm sure there's more other civil rights laws that they're going to be looking at because they're losing. They're
Dude,
losing it slowly.
if they become a minority, they can take advantage of the same shit that we already taking advantage of, right? It works both ways. What the fuck? Now you guess what? Guess what? You get to go to school. You
Well,
you get
yes,
you'll be the
you've
token
already,
white person on the job now. You know what I'm
hey,
saying?
like it's absolutely mystifying. Like when the whole Black Lives Matter shit popped off, like before we found out that it was ran by LGBTQ plus women who on the website was talking more about the reformation of families than the Black Lives Matter movement itself. But I digress. When this whole thing popped off, and we're talking about we're talking about the unjust killings of, and everybody's talking about black rights and we matter and laws being tailored to protect and to pretty much to protect these idiots who were fighting against who just like to say, oh, BLM, 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 don't realize that once laws are created to benefit a group of people, they're going to benefit everyone. Like like this ain't like things won't just be this is a black person's law. I can't go get it. You know what I'm saying? Like not like that's how they thinking. Like you said, that's how they're thinking with that, with like this replacement theory shit. Like they think that we're going to turn the whips and chains and slavery moments on them. Now, granted, Could it happen? Hey, we never know. But reality is guess what? We're so many generations removed that, to be honest, for that to be a fair retaliation in some sort of respects, yeah, I think it would have had to happen in that era where you seen the slave masters paying back, getting back, what they gave out.
What they think is this shit is going to happen overnight. You know what I'm
That
saying?
too. Mm-hmm.
They think that shit when they label the United States a brown country, oh shit, like that is going to be overnight. We don't have enough people making enough money to control the levers to make that shit happen, and that's
We
what
don't
they
have
feel.
we don't
And
have
that's what
enough people to make the laws either.
right,
Just to
and
add on.
that's what they don't realize. Like this is the beginning of the brownout. This ain't the middle. This ain't the end. You know what I'm saying? We still got majority of white cops on abusive cops on these forces. You know what I'm saying? It's not all you. You rarely bring it to an all black police force or all minority police force. We ain't there yet. We ain't to the all minority firefighters and departments yet. We ain't uh we ain't got 30% of big corporations and billionaires running these companies and shit like that. We ain't there yet. We ain't there yet. Will we get there? Damn right we will. Just because how things play out. Maybe not my generation, maybe the generation after me. That's where you're gonna see the come up and the difference. But it ain't gonna happen tomorrow. It ain't gonna. And these young folks are seeing the bullshit that's going on. Like how long? They don't believe their grandparents acted like this or their cousins or family members. They got people disowning family members now. They're like, what the fuck is going on?
All because they support people who don't look like them. My goodness, supporting just another human being. This is why I don't like that. Let me read this comment and I'll get to what I'm saying. It said, unfortunately, our numbers will not matter if we do not unite and secure positions of power. Exactly. That's kind of exactly where we was just talking on. And that comment's been sitting there for a little bit. But yeah, if we don't unite, but damn, what the hell was I going into? What did I just start with? Because I was about to go off.
You were talking about how like we were saying we're not there yet. Like the generations previous after us are going to come up and maybe supersede what they want. But like we're not there yet in terms of capital and corporation and stuff like that. We're not there yet. Right, we're not even there yet enough to unite like that to secure positions.
Well, it's because and it goes to what you said. There are some like firehouses that might be all black.
Right.
And there's some firehouses that are like all women. I remember seeing one somewhere in the country where it was all black women in this one firehouse. Just thinking in New York City in general, like the jobs themselves, like NYPD is getting more diverse. And you can see that clearly on a daily basis, like being very honest. They're getting more diverse. But still, it's
not
the
at the highest
position.
It's the top position.
The top positions. My job, you still kind of got to be in the family, if you know what I'm saying. Or, to a point, because there's plenty of black folks up top that are chiefs and stuff like that, even though those positions are very limited. But it takes those levels. It takes those heights. It really takes stuff from the top.
And you don't think they're gonna make you jump through hoops to get there still? They're gonna make you jump through all kind of hoops to get there still.
Exactly.
Nobody's gonna be awarded. There's no nepotism at the top for us. There's no bring my man because I'm up. I'm bringing all my people up. Only one person gets to go through the door. Everybody else got to stay back and chill.
In corporate situations that you do not control. This is why a person like LeBron James should be appreciated, because he brought his best friends along from high school that stayed tight like this and made those men multimillionaires. And that's how you do to make sure we're up at those heights and those levels and stuff like that. Because then, yes, more and more each and every day, you get to see us thrive and survive and doing great as a people, which then goes back to, yes, that's where it could feel like a threat that you guys are being surpassed. That's where it is. That it feels like a threat of you guys being surpassed because one, you don't want to believe it. Two, you still want to go and live by what your grandpa and grandma and all of them lived back in the 60s, 50s, 30s, and 40s. You know what I'm saying? Where you was able to throw rocks at us and call us nigga and do all types of shenanigans that you wanted to do. Just because y'all had the right to do it willy-nilly each and every point because we weren't seen as human. And when you bring it back to this kid who is barely young, barely old enough to even truly have seen a lot of the hate or experienced a lot of the hate. So you're just going off of stories that you were told, stories that you researched because you were in a certain group of people that are telling you maybe to go look at these things and understand these things, not doubting the education of our youth. Because there are kids out there with bigger degrees than me at 42 years old that are freaking 12 and 13 getting accepted into colleges and shit like that, if you get what I'm saying. And funny enough is a lot of those look like us too, to be honest with you, you know? But when you surrounding yourself with certain types of people, certain ways of thinking and people, you get people like this. You get people like this. And part of what I was saying, I realized what I was trying to say before was the whole, this is why I don't say race, it's culture, it's cultural things. It's cultural over race because again, wow, it behooves you to not take care of somebody who is of your human race, who is just a fellow human being who breathes the same oxygen as you. And that take care of you part goes back to when we was talking about laws being created, where they assume that it's not for them, it ain't for them, but it's you create things for better for black folks, it becomes better for you just by proximity and osmosis. It things get better for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Dude,
things get better for everybody, and it's because you're taking care of a fellow human, of the human race.
They cut their nose to spite their face all the fucking time, bro. They rather pay more for something rather so you can't get it. So I'm just gonna pay more when you can't afford this shit in the first place.
Right. Yep. Just as because go ahead. I'm sorry.
You can't afford this shit in the first place. But you know what? I don't want y'all to have it. So raise that shit up. Nah, bro, we in the same fucking boat. The laws was created because it was fucked up in the first place, and now they're trying to even the shit out. But you don't want even. You don't even want even. You want 90-10 all the time, bro. All the time. That shit gets exhausting. Now you forcing us to take the other 50, 40, 60% back. That's what you want us to do. You want us to strong arm our shit. I get it. And don't get mad when we do it, though. Don't get mad when we do it.
And look like animals and savages and all the types of names that they like to call us in the process.
It's an ultimate gaslight fuck, bro. That's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Mm-hmm. They want to flaunt the shit in your face. Look what we got. Look how we got it. I got the hookup. You can't get it. This, that, and the third. Don't get mad when I just snatch that shit out your hand. You know what I'm saying? Or punch you in the face. That's what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Just like I shouted out the DJs last night, and I walked up to them when we were leaving. I said, yo, big ups to y'all for playing the robbery record at the end of the night. Go Stetzer. And just to look at our community, not our race, our community. When you put us in positions of having lesser than, but then you flaunt in our face opulence, ultimately capitalism, telling each and every American that that's the way. You put this shit in our face on a consistent daily basis. But then you look at us crazy because now we are trying to resemble what you delivered us. But it's just that people go about it in still fucked up ways. because, like you said, take rings off, take chains off, bracelets get yapped, everything off, and yep, yap that fool.
Yeah.
You want to get money, kidnap that fool. like we could have sat here and sung all of Annie up to describe the situation, because if you go down the rabbit hole and understand how things got to where they are, you just look at it as like, oh, y'all are perpetuating this, that, and the third, not understanding or thinking about or realizing, hey, guess what? If you understood how chain reactions work, this is why we got here.
Dude, the worst part about it is you'll play their game. You mastered it. You got to the top, and then they turn around and either change the rules, or then they say you still can't have it because of this, because of that. Nah, it wasn't like that for the last 20 people. Don't switch it up for me right now, because that's the bullshit right there, bro. That's the shit.
I know we didn't bring it up, but that's what Nick Saban just tried to pull.
Oh,
hey, Grandma. And my grandmother just came out of the hospital. Thanks you, she's healthy and all that stuff.
Good for that.
But just what Nick Saban just did recently. I don't know if you've seen it. I caught brief of it, but he was a bit upset about the whole NIL thing, talking about, oh, this school paid $1 million for this guy, this, that, and the third, and hey, you pot calling the kettle a nigga. You sure you want to talk about that? And how many people y'all probably paid for? You know, how many top recruits got under the table money? Now you're upset because it's legal. It's exactly what you just mentioned, TJ. Is people now getting upset because, hey, we plugged in our game genies and now found the cheat codes for the game to now
which y'all had all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Now the playing field is level, and it's about skills, what you don't have because you didn't work to get there, and now you're getting dog walked. You're getting dog walked because you can't answer the question, and you can't answer it in a timely manner. You know what I'm saying? I got the answer. I know how this problem works. I know how that problem works. I know how to run your position and your man's position. But you're gonna train somebody who coming in off the street who's your cousin to do my job? Nigga, what?
And fucked up, even though they were shitty jobs, I was in that position back in the day in Easy Pass, where the shift leaders and the department supervisors all used to come to me on how to do shit. But here's the problem. This was one of my first every brother ain't your brother moments. Because the man who was the manager of the department was little lighter skinned than me, but he was our people. And this is where people say crabs in the back, a bucket, crabs in a barrel, things like that. All in all, I don't give this man a pass still to this day, but you can say once again, it's a part of the conditioning of society. It's a part of that rabbit hole of, hey, I got there by this way and my means, and I made it. Only I can make it. I'm not allowing you to try to get to how I got there. I'm gonna just try to keep you here. You know what I'm saying? It's just too big of a hole.
They don't understand it. If they advance the people behind it, everybody moves up. That's the way it works. Everybody moves up. You help me out, I help you out, and that's how it works. In all reality, nobody gets anywhere by themselves. Period.
Yep.
Period. Nobody gets anywhere by themselves. I don't care how independent you think you are. Somebody had to help you get to where you were. Whether it's your customers that are paying for your product, whether it's the people that's helping you manufacture this shit, and somebody was like, hey man, I see you working hard. Let me give you a discount in this to help you do better because I know you're gonna come to me for more shit later. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. That's how it works. And you always hear that wild story. This one dude hooked me up. You always hear about the one person that reached out and helped them, changed their whole shit, tilted their whole platform and took it to another level. And they're always grateful, and they take care of that person like they were family after that. Just because that one person decided to help them.
And that's just a matter of opportunity, having opportunity, giving having platforms to do so.
Or
You know what I'm saying?
seeing that the person is genuine in what they're doing, and you can see their vision.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yeah. Come and
Mm-hmm.
share some of this wealth, guy. See how we live
But
over here.
like I said, is actually 2 jobs in a row where I learned every brother ain't your brother because of, and like I said, I don't give them excuses because of historical. They're like, no, that's the shit that we've been doing within like the past 5 or 10 years, like trying to grasp and understand how situations were. This was early 2000s where we wasn't on that type of time. So it's still fuck both of them because y'all didn't see in yourself potential. But your supervision that you hired as supervision will come to the lower ranked person who knew more than them. You know what I'm saying? And that just kind of tied to what we were talking about a minute ago. But just to wrap on this one, is like, unfortunately, people, yes, y'all are being surpassed up. Yes, this shit is happening. So if you want to listen to this podcast and take that message and use that for your fucking manifesto, go right ahead and do that. I don't give a fuck. But guess what? It's all facts that's been coming out, not by us. We're just relaying a message that has been for at least 20 plus years that this was going to happen before the kid who was the shooter was even fucking born. Hopefully that kid, another incident where it's clear, hopefully he has to rot in jail, because once again, another moment where this kid was fucking live in action in living color, and the police had the opportunity to do their job and what they should have done and pop him in the head. They didn't.
What they're not calling him, which is fucked up, is a domestic terrorist, and that's exactly what his ass is, bro.
Just like they tried to do with the Brooklyn guy. They tried to say he wasn't a terrorist either. But guess fucking what? He was.
He terrorized everybody in that fucking subway platform, bro.
If that ain't terrorism, then yo, TJ, I literally, I can't say I don't know what it is, but they just make it clear as day in America what terrorism is to them. You have to be of brown skin and Muslim faith. Muslim faith has to be the overarching aspect in who you are as said person doing the heinous action. You have to be Muslim first. And then it gets considered terrorism, because y'all painted this broad stroke picture back in the early 2000s and 90s of what terrorism was. Meanwhile, those people weren't even over here in America, with the exception of 9/11, doing what y'all call terrorism. Meanwhile, the people that look like you, the people that looks like your cousin Bobby and your cousin Jim Bob and all that, those are the ones who fucking do domestic terrorism every few years.
You know why they won't call it domestic terrorism? Because they would have to list it. They would have to list the KKK as a terrorist organization. Period.
And they went as far as, didn't they just at least put them up as quote unquote hate group?
Yes.
I think they might have put them as terror organization. I know they did something with them over the years, like within the last 5 to 6 years or so. They did denounce them to something.
I don't think they've called them a terrorist organization, because I would remember that shit.
Right.
But a full-blown terrorist organization.
Right.
That's what they are. They're going after a certain group of people and causing all kind of ruckus, mayhem, and disruption to not let us function in a normal way.
And you know what that would mean? Because that would mean a lot of politicians would have to be deemed terrorists.
They would be out of a job. You can't be a terrorist and work for the government.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, there's plenty of terrorists working in the government right now.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't sending their kids off to fight in the Ukraine and all over the world and shit like that.
Nope. But that's
another story. That's another story.
But. Yeah. We're done with this one, because that right there was, Biden just signed off on what, $400-something billion to go over there to fight some shit that we got nothing to do with. But I guess somewhere along the lines, we were contracted as America as the world police. But yet you still can't do right by. Let's put it like this: You still can't do right by homeless veterans.
That's it.
Let's go. And I don't even have to go travel past that because America loves the veterans. America respect, support the troops, support this, that, and the third. I like to quote from rest in peace on my dude from hashtag all podcasts matter, but there wouldn't be a need for a Wounded Warriors project if the government actually cared about its wounded warriors.
Period.
But you want to go help Ukraine with fucking billions and billions of dollars. You know, oil prices, I can't, oil prices have nothing to do with it because oil prices, as I've seen a couple videos on it recently, that is just what's going on now with gas prices is just greed. Has nothing to do with the supply that was coming from Russia. This is just greed by these organizations that's going on right now. That's it. It literally boils down to greed. They could change the prices and drop the prices any day now because the reserves of oil that this country has been sitting on can last us for at least 5 to 6 plus years, maybe longer.
Here's what it boils down to, and it goes back to both topics. It's that last grasp of holding on, right? Electric is coming. You can't stop that shit. Brown people are coming. You can't stop that shit. So what are you gonna do? You pull in all the brakes, or all gas for this last strand, last stand, last straw, and it's like sand slipping between your fingers. You try to grab a handful of sand, you come up with nothing. You know what I'm saying? You can't stop it. You can't stop it. So they're doing their damn best to try to hold it off just a little bit longer. Can we just push this back a few more years and then try to push it back a few more years after that? And then try to push it back a few more years. It's coming, bro.
Shaquille O'Neal told y'all you can't stop the rage. Shouts out to C Double as always. Peace. He said, yo, sending blessings to the podcast from the gig. Get your money, C Double. Hopefully it's double time.
Word.
There's a bar for you. Psych. Let's get into these playoffs and then just vent on our Knicks real quick so we can get out of here. That segment actually went longer than expected. But yeah, enough conversation have been had in there. Obviously, recycling a lot of the same shit that y'all people should know by now. But a lot of people seem to not be. They ain't woke no more, TJ. The woke era is dwindling. They ain't woke no more. And it's right in our face. You don't even have to be fucking woke for it.
What they say, facts don't matter, bro.
Nope.
Only when you're going to jail. That's the only time facts matter.
If that. How many motherfuckers had all the facts against them and made it scot-free? Capitalism, baby. Capitalism. That money does good. But money, though, NBA playoffs, TJ, where are we at right now?
Miami won last night, so they are now up 2-1 against the Boston Celtics. And Jimmy Butler went out at halftime due to a knee injury, but your man Bam Adebayo stepped his shit up, dropped 31 and like 10 or 12 on rebounds, came up, stepped a big. Boston had a key player out for them. Greg Williams was out. He didn't play it because he had a knee issue. But I mean, Jimmy Butler's the heart and soul of that team. For him not to come back in the second half and they still pull it out against a real gritty, defensive, strong Celtics team was impressive. And
but it's depth.
It's depth. Yeah.
And Kyle Lowry came back too, dropped 11.
Which is big. They really need him this series. They're going to need him for the rest if they want to continue on this run they're doing. But on the other side, Steph Curry is still Steph fucking Curry. And he closed the door on the Mavs Friday night. Your man will be around as long as he can knock down that jump shot, whether he can run or not. You run plays to get that man to a spot, and that shit is money all day, every day, twice on Sundays. All right? Steph Curry is getting older. He might not be running around as much in the next 3 to 5 years, but he don't need to because all he got is this thing right here. And all he needs to do is keep doing that. And he'll be around for another 8 to 10 years if he chooses.
Now that's a real safe automatic weapon right there. Pause.
I mean, Luka was Luka. And Jalen Brunson really stepped up. I think he had 31 to 32 or 33 points. So between Luka and Jalen Brunson, they scored like 70 something points out of the 109 that the Mavs put up. And that's not going to be enough, obviously. You need a third person to contribute at least 15 to 18 points. And they got to start playing better defense. I know Jason Kidd really took it to Phoenix, trapping Chris Paul and shutting down Devin Booker, but they're going to have to think of another plan. Listen, the Warriors just got way too many shooters. Jordan Poole came. It's not like he came out of nowhere, but he definitely shined in his opportunity, and now he's part of that rotation. Klay Thompson is starting to get his swag back from being out of the league for 2 years with injuries. Draymond Green is the engine that runs the ship, and when he's involved, it's problems. You know what I'm saying? And then you talked about depth. Andrew Wiggins. They've got the depth. They've got the depth. Iguodala hasn't even played a game in any of these series yet. And you know how he is. He's a defensive stalwart himself who can get a bucket when he needs to. So these guys are playing serious ball, and they might be going back to the finals. And if they get there, they're going to step on necks. They're not going to be playing around.
Yeah, no, and that series is also 2-1.
Yes.
Okay, because
it's 2-0. No, it's 2-0. Yeah, it's 2-0.
Dallas didn't win a game yet? I thought they won.
No.
Okay.
Dallas lost the first game.
Okay,
and then
so
they
they're
lost
up
the
to game 3 today.
Today,
probably,
yeah,
right?
today.
Okay. Yeah, now I see this. I've seen this from the gate. I think this is going to be Heat's Warriors final. And I said Heat's. Oh, my bad. Heat Warriors final. I we'll make our predictions when they get there, but that's where I'm still standing. I just think the Heat's depth overall can outrun Boston. I think that's just kind of where it's going to be. It's going to be bench depth and overall play from everybody. When Bam steps up, when your quote unquote superstar goes down and can drop 31, that should be a warning shot to your ass. Let you know you got problems all across the board. And it's not like Boston ain't it's not like Boston ain't that. They are it. But Jason Tatum, as I understood, quietly had 40 points in that game.
Yeah, he did.
And still got beat. That tells you that ain't enough. That ain't enough. And then the Warriors Mavs, like I it's just not the Mavs time. I thought it wasn't the Mavs time in the last series, but they turned that bitch around and took the point guard to point heaven and knocked them out.
Jason Kidd outcoached Phoenix, who won the Coach of the Year. He got outcoached. He didn't make the adjustments. It's about adjustments because you're playing the same guys for like a week and a half. You know their strengths and weaknesses already. It's how different ways they attack the weakness. Because once they figure that out, they're gonna stop that. And you have to have the plan B, C, D, E, F, and keep on going down and keep rotating it until you wear these motherfuckers out. And then you got to go into the next series. It's a feel out them first game, second game, and then that's when the money's on the table. You really got to step up and do your job. You have to do your job.
And the master level of point guard that Jason Kidd was, my all-time favorite point guard, by the way. You're going to have a plan A, plan B, plan C, kind of Doctor Strange-ish. You ran through 4 million plus options or 6 million plus options in your head. And guess what, Phoenix Suns? The one option you had left just didn't get you over the hump. But unfortunately, I still think that the Mavs are going to lose to the West Coast Thanos over the past 7 to 10 years in the Golden State Warriors. And I can't wait. I'm still Heat Warriors is where I'm still standing on. We'll see. Hopefully these series are done by next episode. But what's done is almost this show. But what's done is me emotionally and these fucking NBA lotteries. I'm telling you. We need the ghost of David Stern to come back with the magnets of the ping pong ball machine of the Patrick Ewing era. And we need some changing. We need some fixing because Facebook memories popped up. I think it was last year or it was the year before came up where we just missed out. That was the Zion year, and we got the third or fourth pick that year.
Third pick.
Yeah. And then I think a year before that, something was like we was around like the fourth, whatever. We were a shit team again this year who ends up with the fucking 11th pick. TJ, I'm telling you, like, I just happened to have been doing the Wrestling is Trash podcast at the same time. And shout outs to my man Nick Anicelli. Go follow the name. He disappointed former guest of the show and big homie and friend and other member of Wrestling is Trash, my man Lou from the BX. He decided to interrupt while we were talking wrestling and say, "Oh, by the way, your Knicks got the 11th pick." Meanwhile, I had my phone on, and there was a little bit of a lag in not connection, but broadcast, because when you're watching on the apps and stuff, it's delayed from regular TV. So I was on the 13th pick on my phone. He tells us that we get the 11th pick. I proceed to turn my phone off. You hear Lou in the pool while we're recording. But he's fucking slamming the ground. Fucking shit. Fuck. Because he's a super diehard Knicks fan, just like the rest of us. And TJ, we died hard once again. I don't like it, though this draft doesn't feel like there's any prospects that we need to chase. So maybe there's some. I'm okay with it there, but I don't think they're ever going to give us the first pick again.
I don't know who we cursed or who we fucked over. It seems like the teams that tank always get their pick.
It was the curse of Patrick Ewing when they let him walk.
That hurts. It hurts. It hurt that they let him walk too. I was really mad that day. I was super mad that day. Super mad.
I'm still mad. I still want to get his Seattle Supersonics and Magic jersey.
You're gonna take the heart of your cornerstone to build the franchise up to where it was to be the 90s Knicks, the successful, the face. You let the face of your franchise treat him like cows out the pasture. Like, nah, you're good. We don't need you. For him not even to have a job within the organization is sick. Sick. Who does that?
Obviously, James Dolan in the New York Knicks front office. You know what bothered me too is what added to the curse was when they brought him back to finally celebrate him in his retirement. I thought it was dope because they actually gave him a brand new Hummer, H2 Hummer at the time. But it felt like, even though the H2,
it wasn't enough.
Yeah, it felt like that was it. Like that man should literally have the keys to the Madison Square Garden.
He should have a statue out in front, bro.
He should fucking have the keys like how Kanye had the Mercedes-Benz Arena and was living in that bitch. Like, Patrick Ewing should have an apartment in there. He should have his own toilet, his own shower. Like, you know,
walk through the front door with no credentials at any time. You see this face,
no
you just
Spike Lee treatment.
None. They just should have a picture of his face everywhere at every entrance. You see this guy, he's good for life. Like, whoever he brings in winner,
and
don't matter. It don't matter.
WWE, MMA, Rangers,
Billy Joel
everything.
Concerts. What the fuck?
All 180 Billy Joel concerts, everything. Everything.
Like he was Madison Square Garden, and he wasn't whack. People act like Patrick Ewing was trash sometimes. It baffles me. Just
because he didn't win it all. That's why I hate those arguments of championships count the most.
Imagine if he was playing now, he'd be destroying the league with that mid-range jumper.
Oh, absolutely.
He'd be disgusting. He loved to shoot. And then he would kill you in the post. Don't bring him out to the three-point line because he would have probably knocked down almost half of his shots. He'd have worked on that.
Another Biggie reference to Joel Embiid. It would be each and every game against the Sixers. Yo, relax and take notes. relax. while I bust your ass, relax and take notes.
Word up.
But
Ridiculous,
it's
man.
I think it's just I've kind of deemed the curse of Patrick Ewing is why we don't get to have nice things, and our quest each and every year is free agency. Like it's literally like forget the draft, forget lottery placement. It's free agency that we have to really put in the work the most. And I want a number one pick again, man. Fucking yo, I don't care. Yeah, I'm gonna call it. Yo, rig that bitch. Somebody rig it.
You know what? I know we got the free agency game, and fortunately this time we have enough capital in terms of draft picks and somewhat attracting players to make a deal here or there. But I don't want to give away the whole future anymore. Like I don't think we're in the business of doing that anymore, for sure. But we do have
for
enough.
Real.
We do have enough draft capital of our own number one picks, and we got like a busload of second round picks to package in any deal. Our problem is now we got a glutton of people that play the same position and not enough playing time for all the people that need the playing time. So people are going to have to move. It's not going to be what we like, but in order to be better, we gotta make the hard decisions. We got to make some tough decisions coming up.
I say RJ stays. Obi Toppin stays. Unfortunately, Julius Randle might have to go.
That's not unfortunate. Let his ass go, bro.
No, for real, because I like Julius Randle. I think we all like Julius Randle. But him playing with his emotions on his sleeve is too detrimental. Because it's not that it's on his sleeve, it's on his underwear, it's on his face. It's like blasted on the big screens. Like
he can't be the number one.
That moody.
He can't be the number one, Dan. He's not built for it. He's not built for it. Mentally, he's not built for it.
Yeah, get somebody to replace Julius Randle with a number of draft picks, and yeah, I guess we'll supplement not getting first round picks with that, man. But with that being said, TJ, this was dope. We're done. You know what to do.
Shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout out to everybody that came out. I just want to thank everybody that gave me birthday love yesterday. Really appreciate it. It feels good, when people, give you love like that. Shout out to everybody that came out yesterday at the brewery. Shit was dope. I had a great time. Once again, check for us. Hit the QR code and check the link tree so you can come on. And if you want to be a participant in the show, you're always more than welcome. We will take on any and everybody. So please come through. I mean, it's always a good time.
Yep. As y'all know what to do. Linktree. Peace. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.